indeed for coming here to Windsor Park today for our next big World Championship boxing event, which is going to be here in Windsor Park. This is the one that Carl had hoped for, fighting here in his hometown in the big arena, and it is going to happen against Luke Jackson, who, as you can see, is here as well, the interim WBO World Featherweight title. As well as that, Christopher Rosales of Nicaragua is going to be defending his WBO flyweight title against Paddy Barnes, who told us a couple of years ago that he was going to be a world champion and that he was going to get his world title shot before too long. And I seem to remember he said it was going to be within 6 fights or thereabouts. Well, here he is with his chance of winning that world title. And as well as that, the big fella on my right here, a special attraction added to the bill, Tyson Fury, going to be in action in his second comeback fight, continuing on the road to what he hopes, and we all hope, is to him getting a chance to fight against the big names and to prove what he says he is, the genuine world heavyweight champion. He is the linear world heavyweight champion, and an opponent has not been named yet, but we will be doing that soon, hopefully, and Tyson will be on this bill. So, an exciting bill to look forward to, and our promoter is Frank Warren.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us here today at Windsor Park. First of all, I'd like to thank Windsor Park and the Irish FA for working very closely with us to make Carl's dream come true, to have his fight here. It's a privilege to be involved in this promotion. I think we have a bit of history in the making. We've got a fantastic card. The other fights that will be added to the card. There's a couple of other real tasty little fights that we'll be putting on, which I'm sure will whet everybody's appetite. But it's a really fantastic night. There's some tough fights there. Carl's obviously got finding somebody who's ranked in, I think, number 5 in the WBO. And Carl's the interim champion. We tried very hard to get the fight done with Valdez, but unfortunately Valdez isn't available. He's still unfit. He's not been declared ready for box yet, and we're not in a position yet, because he has time under the WBO rules, for Carl to be declared champion. So it's a bit frustrating. Been other fighters there that we've talked to and tried to get over here. A lot of fighters not available. One that's keeps mentioning, and I'll preempt it, Scott Quick, but the money was asking for made it impossible to do the fight. So we've brought over Luke Jackson. He's, as you all know, you may not know, but he was the Australian Olympic captain from the 2012 Games in London. He roommates, I believe, with Jeff Horn. Big mate of Jeff Horn. So
another upset, hopefully.
Sorry?
Another big upset, hopefully.
Well, you talk about upsets. There's been a few upsets this year, hasn't there? So I've put a couple on. I mean, Truax and James DeGale was a big upset. As you say, Jeff Horn, Pacquiao. Even the upset between Rosales and Diego Higa. We were trying to make that fight, but that's Paddy's gone, and that's a result of an upset. And we're going to talk about it, no doubt, during his press conference. For me, it wasn't an upset, but some people it was. The Selby-Josh Warrington fight. So anything can happen in boxing. You know, Cole come back with a tough fight, a much tougher opponent than I expected in Garcia, which was a close fight, and it was I think had to get the best out of him. I know anybody who goes to fight for a world title, who's got anything about him, comes to fight. I'm quite sure Luke can do that. I believe in Carl, and I believe that I'm hoping he'll come through this so we can set the Warrington fight up, because if he comes through, I'm sure he'll come through, then that'll be the next fight. There'll be no messing around whether Valdez is around or not. He will be fighting Josh Warrington, but you've got to get through this. And as I say, anything can happen in boxing. We've got a great fight, the WBC flyweight title. It's a tough fight. I think it's Paul Weir, I think, was the guy who won a world title quicker, but an Irish has never done it before in this amount of fight, so he's really stepping up to the plate. He's going to have his hands full, but we believe in him. That's why we've made the fight. So, as I say, I hope it's going to be an historic night for the Irish boys, and I hope Irish eyes will be smiling. And then we've got a special attraction with the big man himself sitting there. He's going to be fighting. We'll be announcing his opponent in due course. And as I mentioned, there'll be some other top quality fights that we will be announcing over the next few weeks.
And another indication, Frank, that Belfast is very much a place where it's at so far as boxing is concerned right at this moment. It seems that we're going from one big show to another.
It's becoming the fight capital of Europe. When you think about it, the amount of shows, the big shows that are taking place here has been fantastic. And I'm delighted to be a part of it. And the catalyst to that has been Cole. You know, he's well supported, well loved, and the city get behind him. And when you look at the population of Belfast compared with other cities in the UK, it's amazing the amount of people that come out for fights. It is an absolute fight city. I wish it was a bigger population. You had an even bigger stadium.
Well, we'll talk to the fighters involved in the world title fights in just a moment or two, but let's just hear from the big fella first of all, from Tyson Fury, who's going to be back in his second comeback fight. And what are you looking to achieve in this one? How are you looking to move on from the last fight, Tyson?
First of all, thank you everyone for coming. I feel a little bit underdressed. Everyone around me has got suits on apart from me. But I have got a tracksuit on, so there is a suit in it. This has been my fourth time boxing in Belfast. I've boxed at the Odyssey twice, King's Hall once. Looking to put on a show and enjoy the boxing, really.
The last fight was getting your foot back in the water, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
So, what more are you wanting out of it this time? Presumably against a bigger guy.
Listen, it's they're all heavyweights, no matter how big or small they are. They all take beating. Perry was 24 wins, 1 loss on points, and as soon as I clipped him a couple of times, he didn't want to know. So it was disappointing, to say the least, for me, because I trained for 6 months and I hoped he'd take me a bit longer and give me a better fight. But it was what it was. I can't complain. I come out unscathed, still good looking as ever, still got my senses, and I'm here. Roll on Belfast. Come on, let's go. And I hope this time we get someone, Frank, who's going to have a fight with me, punch me in the face a couple of times, give me a busted nose and a busted mouth, and I hit him and knock him upside down. And I go watch the boys fight.
If you keep sodding around like you did in the first 2 rounds, I'll do that. We want you out there doing the business.
Listen, get the opponents and I'll do the business. 26-0, baby. 26-0, Frank.
We're going to deliver.
How nervous were you before you actually got back in there after so long out? I know it was a guy who was picked, I guess, in a way to make you look good, but...
Well, we didn't do a good job then, did we? If he was picked to make me look good, he ran away for the whole fight. It was like a cat and a mouse, me trying to chase him down, but listen, we got there in the end, didn't we?
How nervous were you though, Tyson?
Listen, it's a long time, nearly 3 years out the ring. It was a sell-out stadium. All the pressure was on me. I was a little bit nervous. It took a couple of rounds to get settled in, but once I got settled in, perfect, no problem.
Okay, and you're still, so far as the long-term progress is concerned, looking at maybe 4 fights this year?
Hopefully, we're on our way to a second one already within a few weeks. And if Paddy Barnes wins, then I want him next after this. WBC, baby.
Frank, how do you see the rest of the year in an ideal way mapping out for Tyson?
Just keeping him busy. You know, as you say, he dips his toe in the water. Now we're going to submerge him next time, so he can have hopefully a different type of opponent. Well, there will be a different type of opponent, and as I say, we're looking at a few, which we don't want to get into now. We're focused on these 2 guys, and the fact Tyson's on the bill. And as I say, we'll be announcing those in due course. I just want to see him get that rust out of his system, and somebody who's going to focus and make him, get the best out of it at this stage of the game. He's still got a bit of weight to get off. He can't come back. He didn't train to fight. He was training to lose 8 stone in weight, and he's still got get a bit of weight on. When a fighter's training to fight, it's a different thing altogether, and that's really where we are.
Now, what Belfast is looking forward to, as well as Tyson, so much so, is the 2 big title fights. Let's start with Paddy Barnes against Christopher Rosales. Now, Rosales, if you don't know the guy, he's from Nicaragua. He's 27 wins and 3 defeats, only 23 years old, and he sprung a big upset earlier this year in taking the title. He beat the Japanese champion, Daigo Higa, in April, 9th round stoppage, and he will take some shifting. He's a big lad, 5'6.5", big lad for a flyweight. So he's going to have a height and reach advantage over Paddy, but Paddy getting this world title opportunity, as I said, in only his 6th fight. And Paddy, this is just, it's everything you wanted, isn't it? You know, I remember you sitting alongside us just a couple of years ago and saying, I'm going to be the title holder and I'm going to get it, I think you said, in 6 fights.
Yeah, I think it was 6 fights, but I was only saying that there, I actually thought they would have came to creation, I think, so just over the moon that it's happened and it's saying and seeing I'll be getting a fight for not just the world title, but the best world title to the team in the home time.
Something with an IBS or WBS.
The WBO.
I don't know
Tell us your thoughts about the fellow you're fighting. Presumably you've looked at him and watched him and you've got ideas about him.
Yeah, I've been watching him, not for so long, I thought I'll be fight shooting there. That was natural for him, but Rosales, he's a bit taller than me and he's relentless in his approach to fighting, so he keeps coming forward. Nothing special, but he's young, but he's hard. So for me, I think it's going to be definitely fight of the night. Both of us going to war, and it's a fight that really excites me.
And fighting for the world title in front of your own people right here, just put into words a little bit what that's going to mean for you, and sharing the card with your best mate, or one of them.
Yeah, it's crazy. We've been called good together, fighting all around the world, and it's crazy to think that both of us are sharing like a world title bill, and our hometown. It's crazy to think, but it's happening, and it's going to be a fantastic night.
Give you a lift once it fighting in front of your own fans.
100%, you know, especially as a flyweight, you know, it's very rare that you would get a world title shot at home, because the agents and different rides usually have these belts sold up, but I'm just privileged and thankful to the team to get me this fight.
When you were travelling around as an amateur, because you've got this fantastic amateur record and so many achievements as back in the unpaid days, did you ever think that you'd get to fight for a world title on this sort of stage?
Never. Last year, I never even thought about going for fighting, because it's so late and I think I would want me. I knew my style was suited to the pro game, but listen, I've done a lot as an amateur. I've career history, 2-time medalist, but this next fight will define my career. You know, will let people know who I really am, and hopefully, well, I'll know will be world champion.
How confident are you that you can win this?
Extremely confident. No, not taking nothing away from Rosales. He's an unbelievable fighter. It's going to be a very hard fight, but I just feel headed too soon.
And just a word or two about sharing the huge stage here with your big mate Carl.
Yeah, it's great to see. He's a bit smaller than me, but it's just great. It's funny that we're both mates and we're both sharing like one of the biggest cards and the cities ever held.
It's certainly going to be something very special. We seem to be getting these great events here one after another now, but I think this one is going to be above all the rest.
It is, there's no doubt about it. And I think, you know, you've made a point there, Daddy. He's not going to have to go looking for this fellow. This fellow comes to fight. So styles make fights, and I think it's going to be, you know, the combination of style. You know, Paddy's a smart boxer. He's a good fighter. He can stand his ground as well. You know, he can trade with you. So I think he can get something a little bit special out of it.
Certainly hope so. Well, the main event is going to be Carl here in action against Luke, who's come over from Australia yesterday, as you've heard, a former Australian team captain in the Olympics in 2012. And Carl, here at Windsor Park, you've talked about it so many times, about wanting to fight on this stage. It's happening.
Yeah, it finally happening. I thought for a while there, maybe last year, that was probably never going to happen, but I think Frank and everyone involved have done in the IFA as well. They've worked together, done a great job, and it's finally happening. I'm looking forward to it. It's something I've dreamed about for a pretty long time now. I see what the football team are doing, and I come here as a supporter, and the atmosphere in the Odyssey is special. It's an amazing atmosphere, but the atmosphere created at Windsor Park for a football game is it can't be rivaled anywhere else in the world. And I know in terms of stadium sizes, it's not a massive stadium, 20,000 or just under it, but it sounds like there's 80,000 people in there.
And you've got the seats on the pitch.
Seats on the pitch as well. So yeah, we're hoping to fill it out, maybe 24, 23,000 all in, and that's the plan. And terrific undercard. You know, to have Tyson Fury on any undercard is an amazing thing. Like, he's the big you know, he's a build topper, and Paddy to be fighting in a world title fight is great. I just wish that I'd be able to see his fight and watch his fight, because Paddy's a good mate of mine and I'll be there cheering him on, but I'll have my own fight to deal with tonight.
Sure, we can get a screen in your dressing room.
Well, I'm sure we can. I might get a bit excited, but I don't know if I want to watch it, to be honest. I'll see, I'll figure it out.
Well, going to be up against Luke, who I guess a few people won't have heard too much about, but he's undefeated as a professional and also had a good record as an amateur. And Luke, you've got some Irish blood in you, haven't you?
Yeah, first of all, thanks for having me here, guys. I appreciate this opportunity. Yeah, my father was telling me we have some ancestors from Ireland, so this is it's like home.
You must know these fellas well, though, from back in the amateur days.
Yeah, look, I know Paddy really well. I was at the Olympics with Paddy and World Championships. I know a few of the Irish guys. I never met Carl before, but I've watched Carl as a fighter, and I'm a fan of Carl Frampton. I mean, he's a very good fighter, and I'm going to have to be at my best to beat him.
You're undefeated as a professional, as an amateur. You're a great mate of Jeff Horn, who had that fantastic win beating Manny Pacquiao in one of the great upsets last year.
Yeah, I roomed with Jeff at the London Olympic Games, and to see him, you know, go and beat Manny Pacquiao, you know, that just gives me and all the other Australian boxers hope that we can follow in his footsteps. And you know, I've got my opportunity here. It's a massive opportunity, and I'm not sure many guys would want to come and fight Carl Frampton in his backyard, but you know, I'm willing and able to do so.
How much of a life changer would it be for you if you could take this title?
Oh, look, my life would change overnight, without a doubt. But you know, I've been proving people wrong a long time, and I'm looking to do the same again.
And when you look at him as a fighter, you say that he's, you know, he's somebody you admire. What do you most admire about him as a boxer, as a fighter, as a man, if you like?
Well, he's very humble. He doesn't do much trash talking. That's what I like. And you know, as a fighter, you know, I wouldn't say he does anything great, but he does everything very, very good. And he's fundamentally sound. And look, for me to beat him, I'm going to have to be at my best. But Billy is saying he's very confident that we can win this fight, and we're just going to be smart, intelligent, and coming to win the fight.
What gives you that confidence?
Well, years of hard work. You know, I just didn't get here by luck. You know, I've worked my backside off for 16 years to get to this position. You know, I remember training in my dad's garage when I was a young kid. You know, I got here through, you know, hard work and dedication and believing in myself, and that's why I'm here. And look, I'm not fazed by any of this. You know, I fought around the world as an amateur at the highest level. I know it's not the same as a professional, but you know, it's all experience, and it's something you can't buy.
Carl, it's one of the old cliches of boxing, I guess. You always have that little bit of extra respect for the guy who's never been beaten.
Yeah, of course. Look, I respect any opponent, especially someone that's willing to come to Windsor Park to fight me. I've never really disrespected an opponent before, and I'm not going to start doing it now with Luke Jackson. You know, I'll be ready for this fight. I'll need to be in the shape of my fight. There's bigger fights on the horizon, but I can't overlook Luke Jackson. I need to be in the shape of my life to do a job one. I think Windsor Park deserves me to put on a top quality performance. I think that's what this stadium deserves, and I think it's going to be a quality game.
Yeah, big danger if you do look past him.
Oh, do you know what? I think it's probably something I've learned before in my career. I'll take it back to my fight with Alejandro Gonzalez in Texas. First fight as a professional in America. I meant to blow this guy away. I probably took my eye off the ball, if I'm being honest. I seen the kid walking around the hotel, didn't look up to much, tall, skinny kid. I had it in my head I was going to blow him away, and after being on your backside twice in the first round, it had soon disappeared. So I've never ever taken an opponent for granted again, and I'm certainly not going to do that with Luke Jackson. As you said, an Olympian, an undefeated fighter, the Australian Olympic captain. So you know, and he's up for it because, like he said, this can change his life if he beats me in a fight of this magnitude. Which there's, you know, people, the bookies and everyone else will write him off, but I'm not paying attention to that. If he can win this fight, he becomes a big name in world boxing, and that's what he sees. We're up to me not to allow that to happen.
How do you feel compared with the Carl Frampton of say 3 years ago? Where do you think you are physically now as a boxer?
I think I'm as good, if not better, than I was 3 years ago. If you look at my last performance against Dinner, it was my most disciplined performance of my career. I could have went in and pushed him around and bullied him and used my strength, but I had a game plan set up by my team, and I listened to everything. Like, I just went through it religiously, I'd done what I was told. I think I'm more disciplined now, I'm more switched on, and I think if you want to compare all my performances over my whole career as a professional, the Dinner one was probably second after Santa Cruz won. So if I'm not as good as I was 3 years ago, I genuinely think I'm better because I'm enjoying myself. I'm enjoying boxing again. I have the bug back, and I don't think Big Fury wouldn't beat me out there in Windsor Park.
Come on, don't go that far. Might be double.
Well, I'm up for it. That's what I'm saying. I'm up for it. I think
If I'm not out there in 5 minutes, title about me, because I'm not coming.
I think it's going to be hard for anyone in and around the featherweight division to beat me at Windsor Park.
Carl, I've asked Paddy just to say what it means to him to be on the same bill as you here and hopefully winning his world title. Do it the other way around, you know, you know him as well as anybody,
Yeah, look,
and to have him here fighting for a world title on the same stage as you.
it's huge for the both of us. I think that Paddy's my friend first and foremost, and I'm a supporter of Paddy, and I support him and whatever he does, and he's an exciting fighter. I love to watch Paddy fight. I think his fights are always exciting. He always he says some things he maybe shouldn't, but I feel like I have to tell him off sometimes. But no, Paddy's just Paddy. He's a good laugh. He's always up for a bit of crack, but I know he'll be taking this fight very seriously. It's a tough fight for him. He understands that, but I think potentially his fight could steal the show. I think it could be a cracker for the audience.
It's going to be live on BT Sport, of course. And Frank, what's the ticket situation for everybody who wants to go?
Tickets, I think, are on sale as of, I think it's sometime this week. Friday, so yes, Friday. So tickets will be on sale on Friday. This hospitality part, price at £400. They're £250 down to £40.
We had a fantastic open air show in Leeds just a matter of weeks ago with Josh Warrington, kind of Belfast to show Leeds anything you can do, we can do just as well.
Well, you know, there's a lot riding on this fight because at the end of the day, the plan is for those two guys to meet. You know, Leeds for those great supporters, Belfast supporters. It's a fantastic fight. Can't afford any slip-ups. This guy over here sees Luke's got an opportunity, as Carl said, you know, to put a spoke in it. Will he do it or not? I don't know. But that's where we want to get to. That's what the objective is, to get that fight on the sheet. Valdez won't be available. We talked about unification, a title fight. That's what we're going to deliver. But it's all down to Carl. He's got to do the business in the ring.
Fantastic turnout of reporters, journalists, television cameras, radios here today. You'll have your opportunity to speak to these guys one-on-one, but for the moment, can we have a few questions from the floor for all the fellows who are here now?
Frank, is the winding fight, is that a cast iron certainty before Christmas? The winding fight,
Provided Carl comes through. If he comes through, and we're not sure, I'm meeting with Josh tomorrow, and I'm making a decision whether he's going to have another fight. But one way or another, that fight, provided they both are winning fighters, will happen this year.
And Frank, just to butt in, sorry, when Luke wins on August the 18th, will he fight Warrington next?
If he wins, he'll fight Warrington next. It's as
Okay.
simple as that. He's got to win. And let me tell you something, you know, people, you know, it's not tongue in cheek. I sat in a press conference about 6 months ago with James DeGale and Truax, and Truax was just coming to make up the numbers. And the winner of James DeGale was expected to come through that and then fight Billy Joe Saunders. And it just didn't happen because obviously he got beat. So don't count your chickens in boxing. Anything can happen. Carl's not stupid. He knows that. He knows what he's got to do. And you know that you know, anything upsets. The word upset is there for a reason. It's in the dictionary for a reason because they happen. And it would be, you know, Carl's big favourite for this fight. There's no doubt about that.
It's an upset in your eyes, I think.
Sorry?
It's an upset in your eyes.
It would be an upset in my eyes.
Everyone's out.
Oh, I don't know about that, Tom. I don't know. Well, we've come halfway around the world to attend a press conference. It's not an upset in our eyes.
Okay, we'll see.
and look, when you were offered the fight,
I was just got back from Bali, had a holiday over there, my first holiday, and the fight was presented to me, and I took it with both hands. You know, I've been pretty vocal that I wanted to fight Oscar Valdez. We've been chasing that fight, but this is even better. So yeah, of course I took the fight. I was very happy.
you didn't have to think about it.
No, definitely not. I mean, this is why we do it, isn't it? As an athlete, you know, I fought at the highest level as an amateur, and I don't think it gets any bigger than this. I mean, I could be wrong, but to fight Carl Frampton in his backyard for the interim world title, I don't think it gets bigger. So, of course.
It can't be bad. I mean, when you look at, I was reading the bio, and I was unaware of this until I read the bio. Within a year of taking up boxing, within a year he was a bronze medalist in the Commonwealth Games. Within a year, so he's definitely a fighting man, there's no doubt about that.
Frank, you mentioned Quigg. How close did it become the different first fight, or was it?
We didn't come close because the money. He forgets that he lost his last fight, he didn't win it. And you know,
And Frampton beat him, so.
Well, that's the thing.
And
They
Frampton
they
beat
talk
him.
of the Quick situation. Like it was a like yeah, people are talking about he deserved the fight. He doesn't for a second. I beat him and I never really got out of first gear. And what it was a boring fight. Atmosphere in the arena was great because of my fans. I brought 15,000 over to Manchester. He had fans because of the fight. Scott Quigg doesn't have a support or a fan base. He lost his last fight pretty convincingly. Doesn't deserve another fight. This is going to be a tougher fight. Luke Jackson is an undefeated fighter who has momentum, who has something to gain from winning this. Scott Quigg is looking to payday. I've already given one now.
Just to reaffirm what Carl just said and what Frank's alluded to, for people who haven't heard about Luke Jackson, I'd welcome them to go away, just research him, Google him, look him up on BoxRec, have a look at his amateur career, have a look at who he's fought, have a look at who he's beaten. He's 16-0 as a professional. He might not have fought the calibre of fighters that Carl Frampton has of yet, but have a look at his amateur career. He's been around the world. He's been to over 50 different countries and boxed as an amateur and beaten the best in the world. Now, he's not here to make the numbers up. The word upset keeps being mentioned. It's truly not an upset. We've built Luke Jackson very, very nicely, and we believe on August the 18th that he's going to win. And in our eyes, it's not an upset. Your eyes, it might be, but we welcome that night when it comes.
Luke, what do you think that Carl is compared with 2 or maybe 3 years ago? I mean, he's saying he's as good, if not better than ever. You've watched him, what do you think?
Well, I think, as he said, he's got the bug back. He's got a new trainer now, Jamie Moore, I think it is. And a happy fighter is a good fighter. You know, and I see he's enjoying his boxing. So look, I think he's at his best now. I think he's in the prime of his career. His first Leo Santa Cruz fight was phenomenal. The rematch, he fought the wrong fight. I was watching that fight, thinking to myself, just stop being so aggressive. Like he just fought too aggressive, and he was trying too hard. It looked like for me. And look, I think he's a very good fighter. But boxing IQ, I think I can match it with anyone in the world. He might be faster, punch harder, but IQ, I think, I'm going to try and outsmart the guy.
Any more from the floor? Any more questions?
Tyson, can you describe just how much you enjoyed the last time you fought here and how much you're looking forward to fighting again in Belfast?
Last time I boxed, David, was 6 years ago, I believe, December 12th. So it was a long time ago, but I remember it being a good night of boxing. And Belfast has always been a great city to live in. Here boxed over here, amateur professionals, so it's always been very welcoming, and I anticipate it's going to be even more welcoming on the return after being a world champion and now being a lineal heavyweight champion.
Any more? Right, well, closing words for you then, Frank.
Well, as I say, I think it's been a historic night at Windsor Park. Looking forward to it. This place is going to be electric. It's going to be a cockpit. That's how it's going to be. As you say, football matches. It's enclosed. It's on top here. It's like those old stadiums that I used to love, like Arsenal at Highbury. It's a great stadium. Everton Stadium. They're on top here. Same here, and with seats on the pitch. It's going to be an electric night. And I hope people of Belfast will come out and support it, which I'm sure they will, and we will have a fantastic night of boxing.
It's going to be another one to really look forward to. Get all your photographs in just a moment or two. I think Mike's going to clear the table
Are we
away.
going on the pitch?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
We'll do them here and then on the pitch.
And you will get your opportunity for one-on-one interviews. So thank you very much indeed for coming along.